Hello, everyone. Welcome to twitch.tv/The Onyx Path, and theoretically over at BackerKit as well, as we are here today to continue our shenanigans in the microverse in Trinity Continuum Time and Space Session 2. This is a live actual play specifically to support the Trinity Continuum Player's Guide Backer Kit, which is currently live. You see a nice little total down there under my face on the overlay. As you can see, we have smashed our goal and are now working on stretch goals, expanding some additional PDF content that will be released in tandem with the book. Lots of cool stuff, so I highly, highly recommend, if you've not yet done so, head over there and back it. While also, if you back it, make sure you let me know in the chat, and I'll let you decide whether you can add momentum to the group's momentum pool, which will start at 5, or if you want to add a complication to their next roll. That's my little reward to you for backing during the stream. Before we dive too far into it, I'm going to go ahead and have everyone introduce themselves, and then we'll dive into tweaks. I'll start off with myself. I'm Travis. Pronouns are he, they. When I'm not running games, I'm writing them, including some of the stuff that you will see today. I had the pleasure of working on the Player's Guide, and it's real awesome to see out there, especially like on the Discord and whatnot. People seem to be enjoying the content, so that's very heartening to hear. Next up, let's take things over to, let's start it off with James. Please, if you could, tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would care to promote.
I am James. I don't really exist on a lot of social media. I will be playing Joel, our a bit out of his element talent. He's used to being shorter than everybody, but not this small. Um,
That is fair.
I don't really have anything in particular I would like to promote. I don't have a lot going on yet, but I do know OnyxCon is coming up in June.
Yes, yes. So there will be lots of fun stuff coming down that way, and I would just encourage the audience at home to keep an eye on the Monday meeting notes for news and details about that, because we should be making some announcements, I think, relatively quickly about that. So thank you for reminding me to bring that up. I greatly appreciate it. Next up, Chaz, please give us your pertinence.
Hi, so I am Chaz playing Daimos Dark Matter Messier, both he, him. I think Daimos is. I don't think he's very concerned. This is just, par for the course for him, and read it that what you will for this character. Yeah.
Excellent, and nothing that you wish to share as of this moment.
Not to promote just yet.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you being here as always. And last but not least, that brings us over to our good friend Leco. Please, your pertinent details.
Hi, I'm Leco Rodriguez, certified personal trainer specialized in weight loss and body recomposition. TeamLeco.com. Visit for a free training or nutrition consultation. I am playing Fabian the Ferret Ortega, gentleman thief, and still singularity of the pencil mustache. Coiffed, aquamarine-eyed, swarthy Clark Gable-eyed Desi Arnaz smile-having thief. He, him, as am I. And we are looking to be heroes in a new place with new friends with no faces.
Yes, exactly. And your promotion, did you mention where folks can find you?
TeamLeco.com.
I'm going to throw that in the chat as well.
Thank you. You can also find me on Twitter at TeamLeco, TeamLeco, where I field questions and talk shit.
Nice, nice. So before we go any further, as we start any session of Trinity Continuum, I would like to offer you the opportunity to make tweaks. So if you have any XP expenditures you would like to make, now's the time to do them. If you would like to move one dot of an attribute to another attribute, or one dot of a skill to another skill, you may do so. I ask only that you mark that down so that we make sure that you roll it this session. And lastly, we want to make sure everybody has all their aspirations in order and up to date. So, Chaz, do you have any tweaks that you would like to make or XP expenditures?
No tweaks. Still looking for a proper XP expenditure, so we'll probably do that for the next session. And yeah, all my aspirations still seem to fit. It should be easy to convince someone that Team Yesterday exists, because I don't think they know about any teams. Can do some sort of team adapt with the laser death ray eye beam once I know that exists. Yeah, and because trying to protect non-novas. Yeah, no, I like this.
Excellent. I love it. How about for the ferret? Do we have any tweaks, any alterations to aspirations, any experience expenditures?
I did need to get a new aspiration. I feel like I almost fulfilled a couple last time, but I definitely got one. So this time, in addition to driving a futuristic vehicle, I still want to do that. I feel like I came really close last time. We're going to get it this time. And I think long term, it's still his destiny to take his panache to another era. But for a new aspiration, he wants to learn the secrets under the snake hood. Whatever
Okay.
that means.
Whatever that means. Excellent.
He wants to get under the hood.
I'll allow it. And then the long term.
Yeah, he needs to learn to adapt and live in a different era, or in this case, perhaps dimension. You never know.
Right. For all you know, this dimension is in a different era.
It's definitely a different time zone.
All right. Excellent. And no XP spends.
No, I'm sitting on this 3 because gifts are 5, and I'm stacking them up. So
I got you. And then James, for Joel, any tweaks or XP spends?
No tweaks. Everything looks good skill-wise and stuff like that. I am going to go ahead and spend some of that experience that I had been banking for a while and pick up a couple of gifts. I want to officially pick up Blackout and Haywire.
Excellent.
And yeah, I don't need to change any of my aspirations yet.
Beautiful. And just for refresher, what are your aspirations currently?
So he wants to write a new segment on whatever the heck is going on now.
Okay. That's fair.
He wants to assist someone in combat somehow. Still not sure how yet. He's not a fighter.
Also fair.
And his long term still is the initial goal that got him into this mess in the first place. Get Cherry out of the exclusion zone.
Excellent. All right. Well, with that all said, let's dive into the action. So when last we met...
Is that the name of the vehicle?
Cherry? No, Cherry is a friend of Joel's, a cybernetic friend of Joel's who is currently trapped in the Blight Zone in La Blazure in France.
Oh, in the other dimension. Well, good luck with that.
In 2123.
Oh, I always have the best long-term aspirations. In one of my other games, it's literally, don't go back to jail by any means necessary.
Right, nice.
So when last we gathered, you all had made your way through various methods into this strange new land called Calandrix. You have reason to believe that Calandrix may be some sort of shrunken area, but beyond that, you don't know. And you do know, I believe you did establish that all 3 of you are from different times. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. You were rescued, or I guess more to the point, approached by a pair of locals, a gentleman by the name of Marcus, elderly guy with kind of a wizard vibe going on, and then his snake-hooded child, Katrina, who offered to take you to the castle, where their sort of, I guess, superior man by the name of Charhusk, who they claim is the rightful heir to the throne of Calandrix, is putting together a group to hopefully take on the evil Queen Gardendale and depose her. You were taken inside, given a place to rest, given some of the local fashions, and escorted to a large dining table where you met Charhusk and were just getting ready to sit down for a meal. Once you've all taken your seats, a couple of other people filter in. The thing that you notice immediately about these other people is the three of them all appear to have animalistic features in a rather intense way. Like, one of them looks exactly like a humanoid tiger. One of them appears to be a humanoid snake, and one appears to be like a human rhino.
Well, now Katrina's style choice makes sense. She's blending.
Fair.
Thank God I'm a cat person.
There is a fourth who joins, like, just as the other three are sitting, and you can all pick up. There's no real subtlety here. You can all pick up that Charhusk is a little annoyed at the three who joined late. But as the fourth walks in, you can almost see Charhusk brighten up as much as someone with their face melted off can. This fourth, humanoid in shape, you can't really see any of their features, as they're wearing kind of a red, almost leather bodysuit and some sort of helmet, which appears to just have like a glowing eye slit and odd breathing apparatus. However, I am going to ask the ferret to make a observational roll. Now, this can rely on empathy. This can rely on something that's more integrity based, more like picking up, clues specifically. But I am going to ask you to make that roll.
Sure. Do I feel like is it a question of like, is someone being deceptive? Someone trying to hide how they're feeling, or someone trying to, um,
There's something familiar about this figure that's approaching.
okay.
It's about starting to see if you can put your finger on what that is.
Sure. I'll go with cunning empathy. That's okay.
Excellent. Please do.
Uh, do. There's 2 successes.
Beautiful. You immediately recognize the sway in her hips,
No,
the taper of her legs.
no, not those legs.
You are relatively certain that underneath that helmet is Aura Zephyr, the daughter of the Tyrant of the Skies, who you last saw flying over the edge of the Skysweeper.
Well, here's the thing, right? There's no way I don't get made. So, um, I wait to see what she does. But
She
I will make eye contact with the glowing slit. And I mean that in the most literal way possible. And I will look. I will maintain a poker face.
Excellent. She simply sits down at the far end of the table. Opens like a lower mouth plate on the helmet that does not reveal her eyes, and says, "I apologize for my tardiness. Lord Charhusk. I was conferring with the reconnaissance team. They believe that all will be ready by dusk as planned. Charhusk says, "Brilliant, brilliant, please enjoy the repast we have prepared for you." There's various foods brought out, kind of a veritable banquet, multiple courses of food brought out. He says, "My plan is quite simple. You, our new associates and allies, will lead a frontal assault on Queen Gardendale's stronghold, Castle Silvercloud. As you do, myself and my crack team of associates, including Marcus and Katrina, will make our way through a secret underground entrance that Marcus knows from his time in the castle. All you need to do is keep the Queen's forces occupied long enough for us to reach our goal."
Oh, well, that sounds delightful. But it sounded earlier like we were the potentially the foretold chosen heroes to go forth and be a distraction. That seems a bit like a waste of our would-be potential, doesn't it?
Perhaps you misunderstand, or perhaps I have miscommunicated. The Queen commands one of the most powerful and vicious foes ever faced. A diabolical destroyer by the name of Glory Goldmane.
Well, again, I understand. Maybe we come from I understand we come from very different places. May I call you Mr. Husk? Sir Husk?
You
Lord
may
Husk?
not.
Okay. Char Husk, if you will, then. It's a lovely name. Just rolls right off the teeth. I think it might be worth finding out if maybe there are less dangerous ways of going about this. We just know so little about the situation. We'd be going in relatively blind. If they are unaware of our presence, we could very easily go to this castle and, just as we've spoken with you, perhaps meet with this queen and her, what did you call him? Diabolical
Her,
powerhouse?
the diabolical destroyer, Glory
Destroyer.
Goldmane.
But yes, I think so just to kind of give you a little bit about myself, I'm a professional and I like to make sure that I do my jobs well informed.
I can tell you all of the intelligence you need to know about your enemy, which is that she is vicious, brutal, powerful, and carries a weapon the likes of which is unseen throughout Calandrix. It will require heroes of your caliber to have any hope of defeating her in combat. At this point, I would like each of you to make an empathy roll, please.
Same rules before work.
Yeah, absolutely. You can pair it with cunning would be appropriate.
2.
Say what else might be appropriate? Just off the top of my head, if you wanted to go a route besides cunning, composure might be appropriate. What did you decide to go on, Joel?
Intellect. He's studied what facial expressions people make when they tend to lie and bullshit you.
Excellent. You have a hard time reading Charhusk's facial expressions due to the lack of a face. However, Charhusk's associates don't have that same speed bump. With 2 successes, the ferret and dark matter can clearly see that there is a anger kind of boiling under the surface with Charhusk. Every time the ferret opens his mouth, it seems to grow a little bit more. Beyond that, I will say that Joel, with the extra success, the 2 things that, well, and all 3 of you also noticed that Marcus and Katrina seem to be getting increasingly uncomfortable. Like, they're kind of like side-eyeing Charhusk, like, do we need to duck? With the 3rd success, Joel, you pick up on 2 things. One, the mutants, the cultists who you arrived with, are hanging on Charhusk's every word. You think that they have probably found themselves a new leader, and are just as willing to throw their support behind him as whatever aberrant they were worshiping before. The second thing you notice with that extra success is a complete lack of response in the body language or facial structure of that woman, the mysterious woman sitting in the at the far end of the table. She doesn't seem to be responding to this tension at all.
With the facial slit, the one that Fabienne recognized.
Right.
It seems like we've got a real Jim Jones situation going on. Except this one will hopefully end better.
Charhusk says, "This plan has taken me months to formulate, and any deviation at this point would be a risk that the good people of Calandrix cannot withstand."
Oh, I'm not arguing that it's a poor plan. I think it's a great plan. I simply want to add some spice to it. I think you should go forward with your plan, and I think maybe myself and your new associate here, who seems very well informed, I will gesture to Pelmet Slit Lady with the legs. This woman who I've clearly never met. But think it's definitely worth getting to know. Because you see, perhaps you don't know who we are, but I am weeks off of my last job in which we sent the Sky City of a tyrant, scientist, madman, hurtling into the ground.
Which is precisely the type of heroic deed we need to stand up against Glory Goldmane.
Right, but you weren't there for that one, and so you see, I deviated from the plan and accidentally caused a whole other series of incidents that had to happen in order for us to win. You see, so I have to make your job harder. At least that's what Destiny says. And who are we to argue with Destiny, really? I look at Katrina. She doesn't want to argue with Destiny.
Katrina leans in and says, perhaps it would be best if I brief our new arrivals on Goldmane's horrific deeds. Charles stands up and says, "Do whatever is necessary. We leave at dusk."
Oh, what time? Was there a sun outside? I don't know. There were stars. Like we saw stars, but it was daytime.
You did see stars, but it was daytime. You did not see like a specific, like a sun.
What's my watch doing right now?
Your watch is indicating whatever time it was where you were. It did not change.
Like spinning around backwards.
So,
like that.
Right.
I'm assuming he has a mechanical watch.
Oh, not Fabian's probably got like a winding pocket watch.
Yeah, a winding pocket watch.
Oh,
Joel would have a digital
watch. It's a windy.
Well, yeah, I'm just curious if, like, seeing Fabian check their watch, Joel would check theirs instinctively.
Yeah, there's nothing, no funny business with it.
Okay.
Unless, well, actually, what you would find most likely, now that I think about it, chances are very, very good. Unless you had a timepiece that was specifically set up to run independently on its own power because you knew you were going into Le Blazure, your timepiece would be relying on pinging the opnet constantly for time. So right now, your timepiece would just read nothing. It would be like flashing midnight at you, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes, I think a briefing would be perhaps even longer than a briefing, a not so briefing.
We haven't time for longer than a briefing. Make sure the forces are prepared, Marcus. Yes, my lord.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Charhusk. Oh, and if you want, you know, if we get time later, I think there might be something I can do to help you with your
My what?
your glow up.
I do not glow, sir.
Well, you know, like once you resume your proper place of power, you might want to, you know, reestablish a new image.
He turns on his heel, and as he does, the Bridget, the leader of the cultists, says, "Charhusk, my lord, I just want to state that we are honored for the opportunity to serve, and we'll do everything in our power to make sure you are happy." He turns back very slowly and looks over his shoulder at them, and then over to Marcus and says, "See to it that they are given everything they need to be most useful." Turns and walks away.
He told you you'd be safe here. Glad you found some place you feel like you belong.
Bridget smiles.
He's not a good planner. This plan should not have taken months. Throw random people at a.
He left.
He has walked away. Marcus stands up and says, "If you'll permit me, I'll take my leave and bring these eager learners to my laboratory where we might prepare some potions, perhaps." Bridget
Is it a
says,
mechanical lab or is it strictly alchemical?
he said, "I don't follow. Alchemy is but one of the sciences."
I am a expert in technology. I work through computers and automatons and things like that. I was simply wondering if I might be able to, if your lab had the right pieces, if I might be able to use some of that to possibly craft something to make myself more useful. I'm not really a fighter.
By all means, join us.
And Joel will give Fabian a sort of a look of try not to piss them off, because he saw what Charhusk's emotional state was, and will join them in the lab. Hopefully nothing horrific happens.
All right, we'll get back to the lab in a moment as Joel and the others walk out, leaving you two, Katrina, and this mystery woman sitting at the end of the table. Katrina says, "You'll have to forgive Charhusk. He is on the verge of gaining access to power long denied, a power that we will need if we intend to return you home."
Oh, I didn't take any offense to anything that was said. He just seems like a very ambitious and optimistic fellow.
I took offense. I think he just wants us dead. This happened to me before. This doesn't seem like a grand master plan. It seems like he's being like go and like die, but survive long enough so that we can do some stuff. I don't like this at all.
Katrina says, "I'll not lie to you. Glory Goldmane is a dangerous foe, perhaps the most dangerous that we've ever faced."
Can you give me some sort of confidence that we either are the heroes that you speak of, or that we will somehow walk out of this with all our like limbs intact?
I can assure you that you were brought here in accordance with prophecy.
It seems, and I don't necessarily disagree with you, but it seems that a full frontal assault to distract what you're considering the most dangerous foe that this world has ever known sounds, well, it's not your plan, right?
Oh, I wouldn't presume to.
Tell me, Katrina, please, if you were planning this, if you were in charge, tell me, what would you do? And I'd like to remind you, Travis, that I do have nothing but the truth.
Excellent. Does that require you to spend an inspiration to activate?
I'm going to
Yeah,
spend an inspiration
All right.
in order to gain a number of additional clues equal to my intuitive facet,
Excellent.
which is 3.
And does that require a social roll on your part to activate?
No, it's the way it works. It says story guide characters in the scene view your character as intimidating or trustworthy or both, and therefore present information to you. Your character may use the information they gain this way as a free additional clue, may spend an inspiration to make this a number of additional clues equal to your intuitive facet.
Excellent. So, and please, if you don't mind, rephrase the question for me.
I said, Katrina, tell me what you would do if you were planning this endeavor and had, access to what could be legendary heroes from another place and time destined to bring peace to this Calendrix place.
I can tell you this much. Glory Goldmane and her allies are a threat the likes of which, quite frankly, our forces are not up to defeating. I would expend every resource at our disposal to undermine and defeat them, no matter the cost. And I'll give you as one of the clues that you gather from this, there's like a legitimate hate.
Oh, she's got malice.
Yeah.
Mad. Wait. As that chill kind of goes over me, I am probably going to once again let my eyes wander over to the visored friend. Aura, right? That's her name, Aura?
Yes, Aura.
Yeah. I look over at Aura and see what is her response to this? To this obvious, like, the temperature drop in the room.
She seems almost unfazed by it, as if you're picking up anything from her, it's kind of this building sense of tension, almost like a spring ready to coil. You definitely get the impression that she's not surprised by this perspective.
Okay, good. Good.
And what was your intuitive facet?
3.
Excellent. So you have kind of one more clue coming to you.
Yeah. So what I will say is, well, look, I can't speak for proper utilization or expendability of the resources at your disposal, but I make it a point to choose how I'm going to die. So you'll have to forgive me if I just simply ask you for the location of this place and an opportunity to perform what I would consider to be my professional due diligence.
She rises to her feet and says, I absolutely cannot participate in you attempting to perform any reconnaissance on Castle Silvercloud. If you wish to learn what we know about it, I would recommend speaking to our spy master. And she nods down at Aura.
I give her the biggest Desi smile. I would love nothing more than an opportunity to collaborate.
Good, then if you don't mind, I'll take my leave. She turns and walks out. Once you are all clear, Aura holds out her hand, and you see what looks like a box rise up from her wrist. And it fires a disc into the middle of the table, probably about the size of a gold dollar.
I kind of jump back.
Once that hits, there's a wave that pulses outward. And she removes her helmet and says, and as she does, you see her right eye is now grayed over, and there's a big scar along her face. She sets the helmet down and says, "We have about 5 minutes before any outside observers are able to penetrate that field."
What are you doing here?
I fell here. After our battle, I was displaced in both time and space. I'm not certain how, though I've got my suspicions. I believe their vizier, Marcus, is combing the continuum, looking for people who fit a certain profile in an attempt to overcome this nemesis of theirs.
And what's your role? You're their master spy? You're behind all this?
I was brought in once Charhusk discovered my abilities. He assigned me to gather intelligence and information on the movements and forces of Castle Silvercloud.
So what are you not telling us?
Where do I start?
Well, you can start by I mean, how have you been? How long has it been?
Good of you to ask. I've been here for about 6 months. Time seems to pass a little differently here. It's hard to track. In that time, I'm sorry?
You haven't seemed to have lost your way. You've fallen in with a group that seems right up your alley, I guess.
My father wishes to bring a utopia to the world, to bring humanity to the skies where it may prosper. This Charhusk is a megalomaniac and a madman.
Okay.
So you think this is a bad idea too?
Oh, I absolutely think that it's bad for the people of Calandrix, but I do believe that he will honor his agreement to send us home once he has access to the resources in Castle Silvercloud.
So you're just helping him to get home?
Yes.
Look, I want to help what's going on here. I feel like we're missing something. So if there are resources that we can use to get home.
She says, I know very little about it. I know that there's a substance here that the wizards, for lack of a better word, refer to as essentia. While there are small deposits of it here in Charhusk's castle, and they are constantly sort of trying to find little bits of it in the wild, the only reliable and plentiful source of it is in the basement of Castle Silvercloud.
Wait. So this whole time, the stuff we want is hiding in the basement of a castle. You have the world's greatest thief in your dining hall. And we couldn't just steal it?
Why do you think I am talking to you under white noise generator right now?
Oh, I don't know what that means. But it sounds important. And so it seems that now we both come to the same conclusion. Where's this castle?
Charhusk is a monster. He's a would-be tyrant, a dictator who has no love for the people of Calandrix.
And yes, I think you and your father are both monstrous, but we're here now. And, we have our scars. of our last encounter. I kind of vaguely gesture at my face where the eye patch is. So let's get home and we can settle our differences there. We have a genius with us.
Your friend who went off with the vizier?
Yeah.
Well, good. That will come in handy. Because while I know that Essentia is the key to their technologies, I have little idea how it's used.
Well, can we trust you not to kill our friend?
I'm not a murderer.
Oh, well, that's not entirely true at all. But I mean, we're not here to mince details. Just
Yeah,
make
I
sure
think
that
we're getting back too much into lovers tiff. Let's just focus on the.
right. So let's extract our friend and
You still have one clue left, right?
yes.
You notice the ever slightest reddening of Aura's cheeks at Dark Matters.
Yep. Got it.
She says, "What would you recommend then? That we break off? We attempt to sneak into this castle and take the Essentia for ourselves?"
Well, I'm saying that myself and Demos can make our way there. You extract our friend from Marcus the alchemy wackadoo, so that we can make sure that, when we get the Essentia or whatever you call it, get it somewhere where we can make use of it. Whether it's at this castle or whether it's back here or some other. You're the super spy, so if there's a place to get this stuff done, I imagine you would know by now.
I do not know the methods by which they open these gates.
Well, then get everything you know to our genius.
So are you suggesting what? That we leave here surreptitiously before Charhusk begins his assault?
When else would we do it? We can't wait until after. It kind of blows the cover, kind of blows the game, kind of throws it out the window.
Well, we're tight on time. Make whatever preparations you need to make, and meet me, I guess, in the hangar in say 15 minutes.
I'm already packed. I stand up and I grab, I don't know, a muffin or something.
And as she stands, she looks down at Dark Matter and says, "And your new friend, you think he's trustworthy?"
This fellow, or the one in the lab.
Both.
Oh, the one in the lab is absolutely harmless. He's marshmallow. He just wants to get home and get his car safe. Like I'm sure that if there's a way to get home and he can find it, he'll do everything he can if you give him what he wants.
And
which
this
is information.
And this one?
I kind of just want y'all to work it out. You seem like a great couple. I don't know what happened in your past. You both have eyes.
We did share a moment. There was a brief moment. But anyway,
she puts her helmet on and points at the disc, which flies back into her wrist, and storms out of the room.
I didn't do that to her face.
I assumed it was a group thing that I don't know, but
she's the daughter of one of my new nemeses in my world.
Oh, that's complicated.
It is. She has great legs. We should go.
Yeah, let's get it on out.
Meanwhile, Joel, you make your way into the laboratory, and it looks to you like half Leonardo da Vinci, half George Jetson. There's this almost seamless blend between technology and what you would clearly call magic, spread throughout the lab.
It's an interesting layout. Normally, you'd have these separated. Is there some sort of interlinking media that requires you to share the same space, or is it just lack of rooms?
I don't follow what you mean. These all work on the same principles.
Not where I come from. Technology is powered by, well, electricity, and electricity and chemicals doesn't always mix.
Well,
He
perhaps
says, motioning to like the alchemical substances and stuff like that.
perhaps where you come from, they've simply not become as advanced in their studies as we are. It's of no matter, however. You said you were seeking something to assist you on the field of battle.
Yes, I'm not particularly skilled when it comes to fighting. I tend to sit back, make plans, and, well, for lack of a better description, let others go do my bidding. Uh,
He goes over to one of the shelves and pulls off what looks like, uh, if you'd imagine, almost like a tap light sphere, but there is what appears to be like an organic sphincter on the top of it, like in the center of it, as opposed to a tap light. And he hands it to you and says, "Place that on your wrist."
what is it? I'm innately curious about.
It is one of our sentries' armor suits. It has combat capabilities and will help you survive.
Can I make a quick? I don't know if I want to do a technology roll to try and assess what this is, or an empathy roll to see what he's hiding.
Uh, why don't you start with technology?
Yeah, that will probably, because I the player don't trust this. Joel sure as hell wouldn't trust it. 5.
Okay, excellent. So you are relatively certain that this is a similar design to a biovarg.
Okay.
What its actual capabilities are, hard to say. It looks like it will interface with you kind of along the lines of a standard attunement process, which may or may not cause some problems for you, as not having additional psi.
Yeah, I was gonna say technically we all have one, but
Except for dark matter.
uh,
So
but
you're not sure that trying to attune this thing won't cause you some difficulties, but it looks like it's completely biotech, and with 5 successes, I'll give you 2. It looks like it has some integrated resequencing technology. So in effect, if fueled properly, it can generate or adjust weaponry.
oh, so it's a silverfish.
Pretty much.
That's in one of the other games I'm playing. I'm piloting a silverfish, so I know that biovarg very well. I would still like to make some kind of empathy roll.
I
to
apologize.
see
It's the Argent is the one that you've got.
or yeah, the Argent. My bad. There's a couple of them. But yeah, I know the power fairly well, but I don't have the side to power it. I would still like to make an empathy roll to see if he appears to be hiding something from me.
Oh, sure. Go for it.
And that's only 1.
At the moment, he doesn't seem to be duplicitous. The only thing that you pick up really, there are kind of 2 emotions that you pick up, sort of dominating the space. This Marcus fellow is absolutely full of himself. He is the height of self-esteem, one might say. And you can also tell that with every syllable, Bridget and her associates become more sort of enraptured with Marcus.
But he doesn't seem to be like lying or hiding anything.
Not that you can discern at the moment.
Not that I. Then yeah, Joel will go ahead and very hesitantly, because he is much more familiar with hard tech than he is biotech, attempt to equip the mini biobarb.
Excellent. You put it on. It is effectively using the traits from an Argent, page 56 of the Aeon expansion, if you have that on hand.
I do.
And you immediately start to feel kind of taxed when you put it on and just sort of overwhelmed. And Marcus reaches over and produces what looks to be like, if you'd imagine like a small bottle with a cork in it. Really, for all the world, looks like kind of like a potion icon you would see in a video game, almost. And he uncorks it and hands it to you. Within is this golden fluid that has potent vapors coming off the top of it. He says, "Drink of this potion, and it will enable you to interface with the suit without any ill effects for a time."
Go ahead and drink it then.
All right. As you do, you feel the fatigue sort of wash away. You have a pool of effectively 8 psi points with which to interact with this. Once those psi points are spent, you once again go into like tolerance overload.
Okay. At least I know I can take a hit. So I hate to admit it, but I kind of am in agreement with my new pirate friend. This plan doesn't seem very well thought out.
Ours is not to question Charhusk's motivations.
But as a scientist, that's your job, is to question things.
As the vizier to my lord, my job is to ensure that his wishes are carried out to the letter. You can tell that he's getting aggravated by the direction of the conversation.
I suppose you're right in that aspect. I haven't been beholden to someone to the same extent you are. It must be extremely stressful.
The benefits of service outweigh any detriment I might experience.
And what are those benefits, if you don't mind my asking?
I get to attend the greatest glory. I get to enable the rule of the rightful heir to Castle Silvercloud. And when my master takes the throne, I will have access to a nearly unlimited pool of essentia.
What is this essentia? We don't have that.
It is the core. It is the core component to all of our, as you might put it, magics and technologies. It is what powers us. It was a portion of it was within that draft I provided you. It is the raw source of all power, and it is being misused by its current controllers.
You said that this Glory Goldmane had a weapon unlike anything you had ever seen, it would help if I knew more about it. That way I could formulate some sort of defense.
Her sword carries within it the power of Ra Essentia. It was bathed in the pool of the source. All of the power at Castle Silvercloud's disposal can be channeled through the sword.
So essentially, if we can separate her from the sword, she's just a good warrior at that point? Or is that something
That's
physically impossible?
Bit of an understatement, but yes, the sword is definitely the source of her greatest power.
Well, thank you. This suit will help me not be dead weight to my new companions.
Very well. I hope it serves you well. Now, if you'll excuse me, myself and the acolytes, if you don't mind me saying so, they're all like, oh, yes, please, have potions and poultices to prepare.
Oh, cult brain.
Yeah, I was going to cult's going to cult. And he will offer a polite bow before excusing himself and leaving.
Excellent.
And quickly, very quickly, trying to locate Fabian or Dark Matter and be like, these guys are fucking cultists. We gotta get out.
What were Fabian and Dark Matter doing? Are they going to try to track down Joel, or were they going to just head to the hangar and leave getting Joel to Aura? You're muted, sir.
Muted.
This is kind of my test for Aura anyway. So she said 15 minutes. If she doesn't show in 15 minutes, then I know that she's betrayed us and that we also have to rescue Joel. So
Excellent.
we wait in the hangar. While we're waiting in the hangar, I will be having a very important conversation with Dark Matter. So I think it's time we review our assets.
Okay.
I'm the ferret.
You said you're a thief, which
not a thief. It's not really giving me enough credit here. Okay, I'm one of the greatest thieves of my time. I can't speak for the future, but I'm going to find out at some point, I'm sure. But on my last expedition, I also acquired a bit of a burden, which is why I wear the eye patch. The bearer of a dark power, which hopefully we don't have to use here. It's known as the killing vision.
Like the eyes just like pop up now. So if you pop that up, everything you see is dead. Is that?
I mean, so far that's how it's worked, and I get very, very tired, and then I feel very, very evil, and I just don't like doing it.
But you are willing to do so if the situation calls for it.
The time I used it, there was an air city and another air city and fighting air cities, and yes, there were.
We're going to have a talk about this because you keep referencing this air city, and I want to know like the whole story. This sounds amazing.
It doesn't seem that far-fetched given what we're seeing here. But yes, and given the machinery we've seen already, I can only imagine what the future that poor Joel is from has. But yes, what is it that you decide to hit by cars?
So I essentially work for a organization called Team Yesterday. If you haven't heard of it, it's fine. It's a future thing. It's fine.
Team Yesterday from the future. That's sure.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm just part of a group. I do have the ability to have minimal control over black holes. And so that's been
black holes, white noise. Like you all are really just all over the place.
I'm gonna step back. And I want to attempt to summon.
Every time he says back, I step back.
Attempt to summon a small black hole, keeping in mind that control was never what Thanos was built to do. Just because, I would assume black holes don't make sense if you are at a certain point. So you can see.
So all you would need to do really is spend the quantum to activate your quantum attack and just not make a quantum attack.
Okay, yeah. So just on one, like, here's the thing.
You see space fold in on Dark Matter's hand as this sphere appears that, like, you can see, like, the event horizon around it, the light bending where it's no longer.
You can just do that?
I can't just do that. It's very hard to control, and so much like you, I don't like to do it because if I were to really do it,
start reaching for it. Can I?
No, I don't like immediately. I have hurt many of my friends in the past, and so I'd like to prevent that. And so, yeah, very good at large scale destruction.
Oh, okay. So if we require loud, then we can get loud. We're going to start quiet. Can you? This may sound like another question, but given what you can do, can you fly?
I've never attempted to. That requires much a bigger control. I think I have to summon multiple black holes, and if I fall into one, I'm gone.
If not, it's fine. I'm just trying to again.
Can you fly?
Yeah, I also brought a glider with me, so I will unstrap my backpack and I will offer it to. It's been recently upgraded. This should allow you to keep up.
Thank you. And I'll kind of look around, kind of pop it on, and
that lever unfolds the wings. Use those for the controls.
Oh, this one.
Well, don't pop it open right now.
No. I'll pop it back. I was never going to do that.
All right.
Meanwhile, as you step out of the room, effectively, Joel, you feel a hand on your arm, like you're 2 feet out the door. You feel a hand on your arm, and it is Aura. And
as she touches him, he kind of whoa, and he was up in his own head, thinking, where was the dining hall? Trying to, he has 3 dots of photographic memory. He can remember everything, but sometimes when you're a little stressed,
right,
you're wrapped up in your own head.
Exactly. She puts her finger to her helmet and then says, "The others we're to meet the others in the hangar. Come."
Okay. He will follow very close behind.
Excellent. You, Aura, and as you're showing off the glider to Dark Matter, Aura and Joel make their way into the hangar.
Oh, great. No betrayal. Big win. All right.
I just want to say, if you think she's going to betray you, she might not be the one for you. I'm just concerned, is all. But
you've never been in love, have you?
I mean,
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
And he's thinking
Aura says, if we wish to have any hope of beating Charhusk's forces to the castle, we'll need to take vehicles.
Do you know?
I love this. I love this plan.
Are the repairs complete on mine? That way they're not missing anything, or are we going to have to learn how to drive? He says, motioning to the orc-esque vehicles that they have.
How hard can it be? I go over to the one that appeals to me the most.
Well, which one are you going to? One of the treaded vehicles, or are you going to one of the sky sleds?
Oh, one of the sky things for sure. I mean, Babs always gets to fly. This is my time.
Hopefully you don't crash us.
Aura hops onto another one of the sky sleds and says, perhaps it'd be best if we ride 2 and 2.
Oh, you want to ride with me?
I will be back.
I will be piloting whichever one I'm on.
I was it's half joking.
You're welcome to hop on mine, though.
Oh, no, I start this thing up for sure.
All right, give me a technology or give me a piloting roll. Do you have any
piloting I can do?
Do you have any gifts that help with piloting?
Other than the fact that I am naturally not one who falls out of the sky.
All right, excellent. This
I plan to
piloting
avoid crashing.
this piloting roll has a difficulty 1 check, but for you it has a complication of 4.
Sure.
For Joel, it has a complication of 1 due to the technology being unfamiliar, and for dark matter, it's a complication of 2 if you try to pilot one.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely in this. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go raw dexterity and pilot. We are just gonna we're gonna make this thing work.
I don't think dexterity would help you learn how to turn it on, though.
It's okay. So it's four complication, right? But
Right.
it's still difficult one.
Difficulty 1, complication of 4.
Right.
Complications that are unresolved will result in damage to the vehicle.
Not your vehicle.
It's not, but hold on, we got tens.
Oh boy!
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 successes. So it's a bit of a rocky start, but flying things want to fly.
All right, yeah,
So I get low and I jet ski this thing.
you hop on and shoot out through the doorway. You look over, Joel, and your van does seem to be at least physically like the outside seems to be reconstructed. You're not sure if they've done any of the interior repairs on it. You want to try to take the van, or do you want to try to take one of the skis?
If they're flying these sky sled things, I would just be a hindrance driving on the ground in a van.
All right, so give me that piloting check. Or are you going to hop on the back of Aura's?
He was actually going to hop on the back of Aura's because he has questions.
Sure. What about dark matter? Are you going to fly your own, or were you going to ride with the ferret?
I'll ride with the ferret.
Let's do it.
All right. Excellent. So you you fire off into the skies, and as you rise up, and clear like a mountain ridge, you can see not far a village below. Various people sort of milling about. You would say probably about a quarter or so of who you see looks human. The rest appear to be like humanoid animals of some sort. But they're milling about, having exchanges in the street. You can see the architecture seems to be almost kind of Renaissance era, with some bits of like more modern building materials worked in. So like some of the buildings seem to have like metal and steel accents or supports. You said you had some questions during the flight, Joel?
Yes. Attempting not to be that distracting to her, Joel is going to. So the Vizier gave me this nice battle suit thing. What do you know about it?
I know that they have remarkable technology. I know that most of their technology, if it's not fed this fuel, this essentia, it will feed on its user's life force.
That's definitely a problem. Do you know if it has any sort of tracking or anything? Are they going to be able to find me with this?
I would assume if they're going to be able to track anything, it's going to be these sky sleds.
Okay.
You fly for probably about 30 minutes or so. As you come over the crest of another series of hills, you see in the distance a massive castle. Looks to be made out of almost like stone and with like crystal detail work into it. It's extremely beautiful. polished white marble kind of looking stone.
Yeah, I pull up next to Aura's sled. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that's the place.
She nods.
So have you Joel, glad to see you. You look great.
Yeah, they have some really fancy technology and magic.
Look,
Question mark?
Aura here seems to think that the Essentia that they're hiding in that castle there is what we're gonna need to get us home.
Okay.
So we're gonna go get some.
Okay. So we're not going to take part in this fight at all.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens, but I think we all want to make sure we can get home. And if the plan is to get the Essentia, if we get it, then the fight doesn't even have to happen.
The fight's going to happen regardless. I get the feeling Charhusk and his cult are just going to keep summoning people until they accomplish their task or until they're wiped out.
Probably.
Well, he does seem relatively murderous and wacky. He's a zany fellow. But not having a face does things to a person, I imagine.
But not those kinds of things. You don't just become a cult leader overnight.
No, I imagine not. I think back to my time in the cult.
I suggest we attempt to negotiate.
Oh goodness, no.
Wait, what are we? Who are we negotiating with?
I mean,
With the queen.
If you think that diplomacy is going to get us out of this, I think you kind of missed the mark on why we're going right now.
Because if we went before, we would be lambs to the slaughter. If we went with Charhusk and his idiotic plan.
If we get you this Essentia, can you figure out how to use it to get us home?
Probably, but I can't guarantee that we'll have the equipment I require. With what I might be able to salvage from these two sky sleds and what we can steal from the people, I don't know if I will be able to guarantee that.
I expect no guarantees. Joel, I expect you to try.
But if we speak with the Queen and inform them of what Charhusk's plan is, what they're doing, we might be able to garner enough sympathy to escape.
That sounds like a great plan B.
You seem very stealthy. She seems very stealthy. He fell out of the sky and broke my car.
You hit me with your car.
Look, we all have roles to play here. I don't expect you all to prowl with me, okay? So if you want to go talk to the Queen and you think that they're not going to, draw and quarter you or what have you, I welcome you to pursue your avenue of diplomacy. I just want to make sure that when I get out with the Essentium, which I will, that we have a plan to make use of it and do what we need to do. If this means that we remove it from the board, then it gives us the power to negotiate with leverage instead of sympathy. Because people with power don't just give it up, good or bad.
And I'm not trying to ask them to give up their power. I'm trying to play the proverbial fly on the wall. I want to feed them the information and turn the enemy of my enemy into my friend.
I don't know any of these people. I know you now, Demos, and I'll just kind of gesture to Aura vaguely.
Are you implying you don't trust me?
Is there
don't feel like
between you two?
I feel like there's plenty that we still have to know in order to say we know one another. But I trust that we all want the same thing here.
Yeah, I have a friend who's living a horrific fate that I want to help them get out of.
Diversity of tactics.
So you're suggesting we split up and some of us attempt to make a frontal approach and some of us sneak in? Like, that sounds a lot like Charhusk's plan.
But it's better because
I
we're
am
all
willing.
good.
I am willing to wait to attempt my diplomacy until I know whether or not I have what I need.
Well, but the thing and the difference being, instead of Charha's plan where we're going in a full frontal assault, attacking them with our face, we're parlaying. If they're
Yeah.
reasonable people,
Do you know if they accept the white flag of, hey, don't fucking murder me here?
Aura says, in all my research, the queen is a gentle, benevolent, kind ruler.
I guess that was a question that's been born for a while. Like, is the queen just legit and everyone loves the queen?
The people seem to have a loyalty to her. I've witnessed relief packages and supplies being distributed throughout the villages. It seems as though this entire land is still reeling from some grand tragedy.
I think I have an idea of how we can get out, but it's going to require you to not steal the Essentia. I need something else. I need Goldmane's sword.
The super mega
Yes.
ultimate fighter who can fight with all the things and also has the mega powerful weapon who can...
The Vizier fed me one piece of useful information. For all of his holier than thou, high and mighty bullshit, that sword can channel the entirety of the Essentia in the castle.
I like this plan less because I assume this is going to mean that someone's going to have to fight, and I do not volunteer as tribute.
We have the multiverse's greatest thief with us. He says, actively trying to talk Fabian out a little bit.
Well, you have my interest, but again, I don't generally approach marks unaware, uninformed anyway. So it does increase the challenge. I mean, we haven't even met this Glory Goldmane.
At that point, Aura says, well, if we don't alter course soon, we're going to. We are coming up on the proximity of the castle's sensors.
We're going to crash into it. I'm willing to set down here with one of the ships with Deimos, because Lord knows I'll just get myself killed if someone shows up. And I will scour it to see if maybe I can create something to channel that Essentia. But I would keep I will wait to hear back from your scouting expedition.
Where does this Glory Goldmane stay?
In the castle. I don't have all of that information. Do they have do you know if they have any kind of camera surveillance or something I might be able to hack into?
Aura says, I believe all their surveillance uses a type of orb that they call farseers.
Magic. Got it. So I'm not going to be able to go that route to locate them. My drone is in the van, so I can't do that.
Fine, I'll try to steal the sword.
So is
go ahead.
I was going to say, is the plan that we're going to set down here and that Aura and the ferret are going to try to sneak into the castle while Dark Matter and Joel wait outside?
I believe that is the game plan. I thought Fabian and Aura were going to scout it first before trying to sneak in, but
we're on short time.
Yeah.
I think that's the game plan, is to let the sneaky sneaks do stealth things.
Question, because I know it was a whole their army is coming to this castle.
Yes.
I don't think we should stay here with the potentiality of like an entire army coming this way, actively looking for us who ran away.
No, I think you should still go forward with your plan and try to talk to the queen. If anything, that will help draw eyes away from whatever the hell we end up doing in there.
So the two of you fly up to the front door while we sneak in?
Basically.
If you hear explosions, shit has gone poorly.
Same.
Nice.
Same.
Excellent.
I
This is your throttle. This is your brake. This is altitude. Good luck. And she jumps over onto the back of the ferret's cycle.
Y'all
which I
be nice
imagine
to
with
each
the weight
other.
of 3 people starts sinking slowly.
And Deimos, I assume you hop over to the other one?
Yeah, I'll hop over, but like y'all be nice to each other now. Like I know there's that like deep respect.
So deep.
So deep.
So the ferret, I assume you sort of veer off as the others go forward and frontal.
I look for the back door.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a larceny roll if you don't mind.
I would love to. I do have Skill of Thieves from the newest material,
And
which
please,
does give me Skill of Thieves whenever I make larceny rolls based to infiltrate a location, steal an object, disguise myself, or otherwise participate in criminal activity. I get to add my highest facet in enhancement to the roll, which is my intuition, my intuitive facet.
excellent. Your difficulty to sneak past the security of the castle is 6.
Ooh.
There is also a complication of 2. If that complication is not resolved, you will increase what is known as your heat. So in other words, you will sneak in, but there will be that will create a suspicion of your presence.
So question for the story guide. Does this? So I'm assuming we'll begin with the vehicle and going in on foot, right? So it'll be like this is us trying to maneuver past security or forces or watch or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm asking because is it a question of speed? If speed is involved, then I would gain the benefit of my Scion of Humanity. If speed would help me.
Yes, absolutely.
So yes, I would definitely like to take advantage of the scale increase.
So then, yeah, you'll have scale enhancement. So that would be a +2 enhancement on top of whatever additional enhancement you have.
All right, cool. So,
Joel is going to attempt to find like the comms equipment on this thing because as soon as they're detected, I'm assuming they do the normal person thing where they start trying to reach out like, hey, you're an unidentified aircraft in our airspace. What's the deal?
Right, exactly.
So yeah, he's like, as they're flying, trying to figure out how to do the comms thing.
I got 10.
Excellent.
So I'll definitely spend the 6. Remember, we got to spend some momentum today, y'all. So
I'm
to spend it
going
on this
to
roll.
because I don't think either Dark Matter or Joel are great with the social.
So yeah,
Dark Matter has like a 5 presence. People love him.
yeah. Past the difficulty, you resolved your complication. You have 2 successes left over. What would you like to use those? Are there any stunts you'd like to purchase? Would you like to bank them for an enhancement down the road?
I would like to use them to get more insight into the layout of this place and get an idea as to where one might hide things.
Sure. So you hit the ground and you're making your way in. I will circle back to you momentarily.
Okay.
As Joel and Dark Matter are flying right up to the door, it's not long before you're hailed. Sky Cycle, identify yourself.
Do we have a tail number? I don't. Joel would have seen it, but normally they'd identify by tail number. Anyway,
Yeah, there's no numbers or anything on this thing.
We come in peace. We come to parlay. We are refugees from Sharhusk and it's cold.
Oh, by all means, please come over the wall and land on the designated landing pad. An emissary will meet you.
thumbs up. They will do exactly that.
As you
No deviation at all.
as you fly over the wall of the castle, you realize that this exterior wall, there's probably about 20 people in matching armor dispersed along this face of the castle. They all seem to be carrying not only like a pole arm of some sort that has some strange rings on the top of it, but they also do have a sidearm. And they also seem to be made up of an eclectic mix of various humanoids.
And their armor is not like what Joel has on.
Not at all. No, it's like almost like a plate mail.
Okay.
But more of like I guess it's plate in sections with like a leather underneath it. You very clearly see a designated area. There's other sky cycles on it and things along those lines. And as you land, a person approaches you. They're dressed in like a purple cloak, kind of like somewhat baggy brown breeches, and a white vest. And they also appear to be serpentine in nature. And they say, "Greetings. I am Alondra, the ambassador for the Queen. Are you in need of medical aid or food?"
I didn't get to eat earlier, so food would be welcome. I do not require medical aid, but we do need to urgently speak with someone.
I am someone. What can I do for you? What is the
Sharhusk and his minions are planning to attack tonight.
Excellent. She shouts out, "Ring the alarms! We have an impending invasion!" You start hearing bells ring and things like that. Let me take you to our tactical commander, and perhaps you can fill them in and help us properly repel this attack. Thank you. Right this way.
Joel will, hoping that Fabian has already gotten in before the alarm was rung, because that part of it didn't click in his head. But it also, I mean, it would pull guards out of the inner workings and start putting them on the walls and stuff. So it kind of fulfills its purpose so long as he's already inside.
Exactly.
But yeah, he will follow. Does this armor suit have any kind of like deactivate button so that it
oh yeah, you can retract it and deploy it at a thought.
Okay, so he would retract it, going back to his normal bio-environmental suit, good old Bess. Partially to show like he's not from here at all, because that's going to become important.
Sure. Is dark matter doing anything specific as you're being escorted down off of this platform, and apparently into the castle proper?
No, he's just following along.
All right. The two of you are escorted into a throne room. When you enter the throne room, you see a woman. Looks like she's probably, she does look human. Looks like she's probably in her 60s, but in extremely athletic shape. She's wearing a golden crown and a cloak that has like a feather motif to it. To her left, you see a blonde woman in a purple vest, like dark blue breeches, brown boots, long blonde hair pulled in a ponytail, just rippling with muscle.
That's the one.
And wearing what appears to be a sword on her back.
Very Amazonian build.
And on the other side, you see what appears to be a tardigrade, but it's about 8 feet tall.
A what?
A tardigrade, a water bear.
I think that's the most dangerous thing right there. Like, they'll die. What are we supposed to do?
Joel immediately starts putting names to faces. Okay, that's Goldmane. That's the Queen. I didn't get the water bear's name,
Why would we
but
not
I'm
get
sure
this
it has
information?
one.
He says, my name is Dexter. I am the Queen's advisor. You and tactical general. You have said that there is an impending attack. What details can you give us about this?
They were planning a two-pronged assault, I believe. The vizier Marcus knew of some secret tunnels
The Queen
from
says,
when he served here that
yes,
they were going to attempt to slip their best warriors in, while myself and my friend here were supposed to go out there and try and fight. And he just points to Goldmane like, I don't want to fight her.
Not a respect in Goldman's direction.
She smirks and says, well, I don't like fighting, so I guess that serves us both well.
As you can see, he says, motioning to his different technology. I don't necessarily want to call it futuristic because theirs is equally advanced, just different. I am not from here, and my friend here is not from here either. They have some kind of summoning ritual that they've been conducting that is bringing people from other places here to attempt to fight you. And
Glory nods. She says, the portals, yes, we are aware of them. Marcus the Betrayer stole a device that can open portals through space and time. I used my sword to attempt to to successfully track down a artifact that is rumored to allow us to locate these portals and assist those who have come through them, but I've not yet unlocked the operation of the artifact. It's fortunate that you've come to us, because the tunnels that Marcus believes we are unaware of, we absolutely are aware of and have set some security precautions in. But perhaps, Your Highness, I should go down and take a look. And the Queen says, Gloria, if you feel that the shelled monstrosity is not sufficient of a guardian, and she says, one can never be too careful, and starts walking off.
do be careful. I would hate to see such a kind-hearted woman fall victim to that monster.
This is not the first time Charhusk and I have danced.
Yeah, I assumed as much.
She walks off and heads down a corridor.
You made mention of an artifact. Not to toot my own horn, but I tend to be really good with technology and unlocking its secrets. I might be able to assist in that.
The tardigrade whistles, and you see a couple of bird folk come in. They're also wearing the armor. And he says, the mask, please fetch it from my office. And, yes, sir. And they run off. Meanwhile,
Secret tunnels, you say?
the ferret has made his way into a secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Sure is convenient that these tunnels were here hiding under this castle the whole time. It's almost like they want to get stolen from.
As you're making your way through the tunnels, you start to hear a loud scraping noise, and what it seems like clicking as if like if you'd imagine like breaking open a lobster claw,
Sure.
like that level of clicking, but like that volume of clicking, but it's happening rather rapidly. And Aura says, I think those clicks are happening in a pattern of 6 at a time.
So is it a waltz then?
You see in the distance flickering light, looks like perhaps torchlight, and you see what looks to be the shadow of an enormous beetle.
Oh my. Well,
Right.
maybe we go around it, yeah?
She looks to the left and looks to the right and says, "Around where?"
Well, there's only is it one of those situations where like it's a tunnel and it's in the way, like
Right.
that's the plug? Well, I mean, it's just a beetle. How smart could it be?
It rounds the corner, and you see a beetle that, from your perspective, is probably about 30 feet high.
That's
The
Big boy.
the clicking is like the sound of the joints in its legs as it's stepping forward.
My ears twitch as I remember the giant mechanical spider. Okay, this is not. It's bigger than last time, and it's alive, which means it's. Well, again, it's a beetle. How smart could it be? I will. I'll see if I can draw it away, and then we'll just scoot past it.
Excellent.
So yeah,
Before we dive
go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, before we dive too deep into that, I was wondering if I could spend an inspiration on a thing.
What was the thing?
Setting up that, like, in his van, Joel would have had intercoms. Maybe having him have grabbed those intercoms to be able to attempt to communicate between the group.
That'd be like a 1 point dramatic edit.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because now is the time where them having comms would be very useful.
Excellent. Yeah, you all have like earpiece communicators. As it rounds the corner and starts making its way close, why don't you go ahead and give me just let's do an initiative roll if you don't mind.
Sure. What is initiative again?
So it's the lower of your. Let me double check because I always get this backwards.
It's Dex Athletics or Cunning something.
It's lower of cunning athletics or Dex empathy.
Okay. Three.
Give me just a second.
The speed scale applies here, right?
Speed scale does apply.
Okay, so 5 then.
Excellent. You will act first. As the bug clearly makes its way into your sight, what would you like to do?
I will. I'll step out of the shadows into clear view of its many faceted eyeballs, and I will whistle. Hey there, buddy. I see you clicking down there. Are you a dumb beetle? I wait to see if it talks or if it tries to kill me.
It hisses and lunges forward at you.
Okay, beetle. Beetle. And I will. I'm going to make an exasperated look at Aura.
Mm-hmm.
See you on the other side, and I will bait this thing and I'm going to ferret and mouse it, if you will, or ferret and cat it, if you will, or ferret and snake it. Either way, I'm going to try to stay just out of reach and just really be obnoxious to this thing. I will dance on it, around it, and down it, and up it, and try to drag it as far away from its, I guess, position as possible, so Aura can get past it. And then I'm going to try to find a way to ditch it. Based on like where we came in, do I think there's any place I could take it to trap it, perhaps?
You remember there's a little alcove that it might fit in if you could back it into it.
All right, I have ideas.
All right, what would you like to do to try to bait this bug?
So my plan is, so I have a telluric bolt now. So my plan is I don't want to hit it. Like, I don't want to hurt this thing. It's just a dumb animal.
Sure.
But I'm not afraid to cause it some discomfort and clumsiness. So my plan is to continue to draw it out until I can get it into a place where I can get it maybe tip over or tip into an alcove by blasting the areas like near its many appendages to try to get it, either moving in a certain direction. I'm going to try to herd this thing, basically, using telluric bolts and my obnoxious, I'm not touching you, but you're not touching me game.
Excellent. So does telluric bolt come with a cost?
As far as I know, no. Hold on, let me double check just to make sure. I think it's just a ranged. Okay, so telluric bolt. Yeah, it just says make an unarmed ranged attack by throwing a burst of energy. It has the combination of range, tag, and one of the following. In this case, it has brutal.
Okay.
And it just says make an attack, and it says it can be purchased a number of times equal to your destructive facet, granting a different tag each time. So it just sounds like you can just lob.
Are you
so
just so that I'm clear? Are you actually not trying to target the creature? Are you?
I don't want to hit the creature at all. I'm hitting like the ground. I'm hitting the walls.
In that case, why don't we make it like a persuasion or a empathy, something that would be really based on the trickery aspect of it. Sure. I'll even go larceny with you. You know what? I'm feeling generous. I'll go larceny.
I want to go manipulation. Athletics. How's that go?
That sounds beautiful, and I love it. I'm a big fan of it. That the difference in size scale won't apply to this roll because it's really not like a direct attack.
Uh-huh.
So your difficulty is only going to be its desperation pool, which is 6.
Okay, man. Can I borrow some momentum just in case? You don't mind?
There's 5 in the pool.
Yeah, I'll take 3 of it. So when I roll before, I can just use them to add dice, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's do it. I even got ahead of myself there. So 4 so far. 5 and 1, 10. 6 on the nose.
Excellent. You fire upward at it. As you fire upward, sort of hurting it to the right, Aura dives to the left, and it rushes forward. You're able to get a couple more off. It will get one swing in at you before it tries to, before you get it put away.
Sure.
Fortunately for you, you are 2 size scale lower than that, so that increases your defense. And then, is there anything else you'd like to rely on for your defense?
So if I think that letting it get a hit in might help my cause, I'm not going to let it just snap me in half, but again, I'm trying to bait it. So like if I need to take a hit, I'll take a hit. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. To not ruin so I'll just use whatever passive defense I get. And I'll deal with whatever happens.
Roll whichever resilience attribute you'd like to rely on.
Oh, stamina. Oh, I have +1 durability scale, by the way.
Excellent. It has +2 might scale over you because of its
I'm sure
size
it
scale.
does. I'm sure it does. I'm just letting you know. I snap like a thick twig. Okay.
That'll come in handy.
Yeah. So
I'm assuming by now they have at least been informed we've made initial contact, but considering space-time shenanigans, we haven't got through the whole conversation.
Yeah, if you want to let them know. I mean, you're right now where you're at in this conversation. Like, as soon as the bird people walk out, there's a bit of a shake. Like the castle shakes a little bit. How many successes did you get on that defense?
I got 2.
Excellent. So you do take 1 injury condition.
Okay, so I have one. Oh, I have a question. So I have what is this? How does this work? Kinetic absorption and reflection. It says whenever your character would otherwise take an injury from a damage source with the impact, ballistic, or slashing damage types. I'm guessing this is one of those.
This would be ballistic, yeah.
It says you may spend an inspiration to avoid the injury and instead take successes spent on the inflict damage stunt as an enhancement on your next attack.
Excellent.
Which I will do, but I'm not going to hit it. I'll use that opportunity to basically like get the final blast behind it and kind of like shove it into wherever it needs to go.
Wonderful. You shove it into the hole and sort of blast the rock down in front of it. As you're facing it, and up top the castle shakes again. You hear.
What are you guys doing down there?
You hear
beetle, giant beetle.
Like you hear a sound like a sack of flour falling 30 feet onto cement. And then Aura lands at your feet. Her helmet cracked down the middle. You look up the hall. Your feet.
My feet.
Yeah. As you look up the hallway, you see Glory standing in the middle of the hallway. Sword still on her back.
Oh, I thought this was happening way earlier.
No, this is happening in tandem.
Yeah, I would have told them that, like, Lori Goldmane's coming. You guys need to come up with something.
Beetle, hold on. What was that now? Oh, you're Glory. That whole time I thought you were saying something else.
She has not drawn her sword yet. She just has her fists balled up.
Ooh.
You're...
Tell her that you're refugees. Like I am not kidding at all.
I thought you were supposed to steal her sword. Make up your goddamn mind.
She says, I thought Charhusk would have sent someone a little tougher.
Excuse me, madam. I will straighten my mustache.
Aura gets up and like pulls the helmet, like just almost like as if you were pulling off like a ball cap, pulls at the crack in the helmet and it just falls off both sides.
You have something that I need.
Well, sneaking into our basement's not the way to ask for it, friend.
Look, I don't know about everything that's going on here. I know that like you or whomever in the castle and Charhusk have a whole bunch of history. I'm in a bit of an odd place right now, quite literally. I've never been here, and I don't want to stay here. And it seems that in order to make that happen, we need to borrow something.
She squints. I know you.
I look over my shoulder. Is she talking to me or is she talking?
She's talking to you, and it occurs to you recognize her. She was the woman who grabbed that mask.
You. This is your fault. I will excuse me, I forgot your character's name. James. Joel, thank you. Joel, we're gonna need a minute, and I'm going to take the thing out of my ear. I don't know when.
God damn it, Bobby.
Wait, so is she like more swole than she was the first time?
No, you You noticed
So
she was swole before.
She was swole before. Okay, I was
Yeah.
making sure that she didn't show up in Calendria and just get jacked. You're the one who took the mask.
Yes, it was an artifact that our seer needed so that we could find out where Charhusk was creating these portals.
All right, look. One thief to another.
I am not a thief. I was merely borrowing it.
Okay, same. And I will dive upon her back. And I will attempt to extract the sword.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a. You're going to try to. So you're trying to effectively grapple her, right?
Oh well, you say grapple, right? That implies like there's a mutual hold. She's a little thick in the neck. Okay, like I'm not grappling with pull. No, I'm going around and up and attempt to relieve her of her burden.
Okay.
As I am both deft and daring.
Sure. Go ahead and let's do larceny and then whatever you'd like to lean on for that.
Well, I would actually like to use close combat if that's okay.
Oh, sure.
As I'll be attempting to use my deft and daring gift for relieving people of their objects. So yeah, when she says I was borrowing it, I'm going to I say same, and then I attempt to borrow it. Do I even want to know what my target is on this beast?
Her effective defense is 7.
Oh, shit. I do a speed skill.
Okay, so that you get that enhancement.
Yeah. 7, huh? So
We should have more momentum we can spend. It shouldn't be much.
I
But
feel like this is the time to do so.
There's 2 left in the pool at the moment.
There's 2 left in the pool at the moment.
I feel like this is the time to do
All right,
so.
I will spend the 2. Reroll some of these failures. Okay, that's promising. Okay, that is 9 total.
Excellent. You make your way around behind her and get your hand on the hilt of the sword.
So the difficulty was 7, right?
Correct.
Okay, so
and you had 9 total, including your speed scale.
yeah, that's everything.
All right.
So I would like to spend the other 2 then on the retrieve stunt.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So you draw the sword.
Yep. Excuse me. Pardon me.
I would like you to select a resilience attribute for me, please.
I'm gonna go with stamina because I love getting hit by random things.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll that real quick. Your difficulty is going to be 4.
Okay. I love this. This is why I'm durable now, because the ferret just can't help himself.
he's been slapped by too many pretty girls.
All the damn time, falling out of the buildings. Does durability scale help here?
Yes.
Okay.
So
5
+2 scale enhancement. Excellent. You take it as when you draw the sword, you start feeling memories pour into you. Memories of the sword being forged. Memories of Marcus, basically assaulting, slapping around one of his assistants, a petite little blonde girl. And she gets her hand on the sword and is imbued with this power. You start seeing dozens of battles between her and Charhusk, and you're hit with a bolt of lightning.
That's the noise I make.
That comes over the comms, and you hear Aura say, "My God, Fabian, your clothes have shredded."
Again?
Shazam!
Does this happen again? You know what? I'm just not going to invest in the ferret gear. I just can't keep my
It's
pants
not
on.
worth it. Yeah.
You're
You've just been
effectively
Shazammed.
wearing a loincloth and like a bib. Your pencil mustache has now grown into like a full-on like handlebar. And that's where we'll wrap things up for this week. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about today's game?
That is such a perfect place to end it.
Oh, can't keep us closed. Oh. See, I had a feeling. I was like, I feel like I need to do another Nude Escape. No, no question. That was priceless.
Wonderful. So, in terms of experience points, you all hit a story milestone, so we're going to go ahead and give you a point for that. You spent half the momentum in a single scene, so that's a point for everyone there. Did you achieve any short-term aspirations? Start them off with Dark Matter.
Dark Matter was able to convince someone that the team of yesterday is a thing.
That is true. And that's been a long time coming. You may have
Yep.
Did Joel achieve any short-term aspirations?
No. Technically, he almost. You could argue he went against one by accidentally sending Goldmane into the tunnel.
Oh wait, no. He did help me. He gave me. He sent the sword to me.
Yeah.
So technically, he helped me.
Yeah. I mean, I would allow that.
Sure.
It worked out. So that's one for you. And then short-term aspiration for the ferret.
I did drive a future vehicle.
You did. So you may take a point there.
I didn't know. I don't know if this counts as learning the secret under the hood. I don't think it does. I think I need to learn more about Katrina. Before
you don't really know much about. You didn't really learn much at all about Katrina.
No. So I'll just take the drive a future vehicle for sure.
All right. So and then you all get one additional XP for everybody completing a short-term aspiration in the same session.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
I greatly look forward to next week's session as
we now have Shazam in our party. As soon as you said a bolt of lightning, I just watched the newest Shazam the other day. So,
well, this is more, lightning dancing around in a circle. If there was a nearby cat, it might get shot with a bolt of lightning.
Hey, the ferret was curious as to why he keeps getting new gifts. It's because he keeps getting hit with teluric energy repeatedly. He's nuked by it. It's like, boy, these powers are fun.
And then there's just poor Joel who doesn't get hit except by corruption.
Right, exactly. Well, on that bright shiny, that's where we'll wrap things up for this week. I want to remind everyone who's watching, whether it be live or in the replay, that the Trinity Continuum backer kit is still going. It is going as of this recording for 5 more days. We're at well over our base goal, but we have a lot of really cool stretch goals that we're working on. Things to expand our current next stretch goal is the VTT token pack. They'll be created to support online play for Trinity Continuum. We've unlocked extra gear and gadgets. We've unlocked extra crafting rules. So lots of good stuff. Now's a great time to get involved with it. We are actively funding through BackerKit for the next 5 days. So if you want to get involved and get in on those stretch goals and help push towards new stretch goals, now is the time to act. We will be returning next week. The BackerKit campaign will no longer be active at that point, so that'll be too late. But you'll have one more time to tune in during the campaign on Tuesday as we return for session 2 of Divergence. I have been Travis Legge. My pronouns are he and they, and when I'm not running games, I am writing them. Let's do our outros and let's start things off this time with Lecco. Please, your pertinent details.
Hi, Lecco Rodriguez, teamlecco.com for a highly personalized and sustainable nutrition or fitness plan built to your liking. Free consultations for those interested. I have been playing Fabian the Ferret Ortega, formerly Gentleman Thief, now ripped powerhouse, sword bearing, once again shirtless, pantsless, reluctant, but somehow not reluctant hero. He, him, all over the place. He, him, man. Now,
Precisely that. Cool. Next up, that brings us to Chaz. Your pertinence, please.
Chaz, he, him, playing Deimos Messier, aka Dark Matter, who is very interested in this ripped, muscle-bound, sword-wielding blonde who is like the first person he's ever met who has potential to be more destructive than he is. And so he is very focused on that. Kind of conflicted because he did hear the scream, and so he's like, "Yeah, no, I know how that happened. That's not good, but we'll figure that out."
Excellent, excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes for Dark Matter. Always fun to watch him wrestle with the various the various things going on. Very cool. And did you have anything you wanted to promote?
Nothing to promote. Yeah.
Excellent. And last but not least, that brings us to Joel. Please, your pertinent.
I am James. I've been playing Joel Wolf, the way in over his head. I'm just a news reporter tech geek who is definitely not going to try and somehow rig the teleporter to bring everyone back to where he was at, because he was not prepared at all to go rescue Cherry. And these new allies are proving to be useful at the very least. The only thing I'd like to promote is his book, because it's got a lot of cool stuff in it. It has actual shark repellent, which I just find so humorous.
There is super cool stuff in the book. And real quick before I forget, just so that you can make a note of it, Lecco, while you are holding this sword, you benefit from the Savior of the Universe gift.
oh jeez. Okay.
What does that do?
We'll find out.
Savior of the universe.
You can find out by backing the book over on BackerKit. So yeah, everybody take care of yourselves and each other. Make sure you get your shots, all that fun stuff, and stay out of trouble. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.
Savior of the universe.